Okay, here goes. Walking home. Walking home, the simplest task. Why so afraid, I hear you ask. I didn't ask to be this afraid. The fear is sadly something man-made. I'd been singing for a funeral, the granddad of a pal. I was meant to go to a fancy dress thing after, but with my friend feeling sad, that was a non-starter. So I'd already changed into the Quentin Tarantino theme. A bright red dress from that Inglourious Basterds scene. But I went instead to cheer up my friend, to a nice little bar in the West End. I'd had a glass or two of wine. I wasn't drunk though. I was fine. We parted ways at 10ish. It was dark. I hopped on the tube to Finsbury Park. Then I hopped on the bus that stopped 2 minutes from my door. I never liked to walk far, even before. I note a man with a strange look in his eye, that horrid gaze that pierces inside. I didn't think too much of it then. I'm so used to looks like that from men. Does that sound arrogant? I don't mean it to. I'm pretty sure most women feel seen through. He came downstairs to get off at a stop, but seeing me there, well, he did not. Instead, he moved to the chair opposite me and decided to sit and stare more free. My stomach did its first little turn, head down in my phone as my cheeks start to burn. I've already tried my boyfriend, my mum, and my dad, but no one answers and I think, this is bad. I decide to have a pretend phone call to ensure that it's clear that I'm not alone at all. Someone is meeting me, just FYI, so it's pointless, mate, to even try. The issue is, I am alone and scared on my journey home. I get off at my stop just before the doors close, but he has time to follow. And the driver, he knows. But does he stop the bus and make sure I'm okay? Does he fuck? He drives off and leaves me there as prey. I wait at the stop and pray he walks on. I'm praying that somehow I've got this one wrong. But no. With can of Stella clutched in his hands, when I walk, he walks. When I stand, he stands. In a faint sort of slur, he says, I'm walking you home. And when I say no thank you, he swears and he groans. He walks off in front and I loiter behind, thinking that maybe the odds have been kind, but he takes up position at the end of the street, on a bench by the gate where the path and road meet. The issue I have is my walk in the dark runs alongside the side of a park, so there's only one path that has any light, so I have to walk past him in spite of my fright. I take a deep breath and I start on my way, preparing to run without much delay, but I notice he's staring at me, so intense, and this time his hands have gone down his pants. Rubbing and grunting along to my face, with every step I feel the disgrace. I try to run past him, but he blocks my route and pushes me backwards and trips with his boot. I've got a 6-inch penis, he breathes in my ear. I don't think I answer, silenced by fear. I'm thinking in this moment, this is not how I die. This cannot be happening, but I'm too scared to cry. He throws my phone away into a shrub, continuing his violent, violating rub as his hands start to paw at the hem of my skirt, and he pushes my face down into the dirt. I feel a bubble of strength down in my soul. My heart is racing as he starts to maul. In my bag is a pineapple, my only weapon, so I grasp for its spikes and attempt to threaten, but his hands are too strong. I cannot compete. I'm under his body, a cold piece of meat. Then from the depth of my soul comes a scream. I hear it come out of me, more like a dream. Help, help, help comes out the sound, remembering advice for some article I'd found that said that a word will more likely get heard than just some screaming and sounding absurd. I'm losing the battle. I'm losing the fight. I'm kicking and screaming with all of my might. I'm seeing my future, lying there in the cold, raped and murdered at 25 years old. But then they appear, all by chance, in a blur, a him, and my saviour, a her. They're off-duty coppers who were just passing by and stopped at the sound of my visceral cry. It wasn't to be that I died on that day. I'm here to write this. I survived. And I say to Sarah, Sabina, and so many before, we will not desert you. We say with a roar, I'm so fucking angry and tired and sick of the men being ruled, of the men that constantly think with their dick. To the good men, and there's plenty, I thank you from my core for listening and learning and trying to do more. I don't want to carry a rape alarm, a symbol of fear, a symbol of harm. I don't want to clench my keys in my fist, ready to attack with a punch and a twist. I don't want to smother my sex appeal, dressing in clothes that don't reveal, not wearing lipstick or gaining attention, scared to be seen or worth a mention. I want to be heard, and I want to see change. I want it understood that this deep, painful rage is real and it matters and it will not stop until this is finally pushed to the top. There are so many women, less lucky than I, who were not saved. They were led off to die. But also the millions of unreported cases as women process their own fearful stasis. I'm here and I'm ready to do what I can to make myself proud of being a woman. I can no longer stay silent. The roar is too loud. So I'm here. I'm a victim and I'm standing up proud.